So DGAZ has grown over 110% in the past 7 days trading. What's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions, and a very common question that we are getting right now is what is going on with natural gas? In this video, I'm going to do to the best of my abilities answering that question. And the question that everyone is asking themselves is, is it time to buy ugaz? Because DGAZ, which is the bear ETN, that pretty much goes up when natural gas goes down. And ever since natural gas began to make new highs and show signs that it had like bullish potential, it just began to aggressively sell off, and it's shown no signs of any support. Today during the pre-market session, I do have to admit, it was about to open up in the green, and in about 30 minutes right before the market opened, it just began to tank once again. It's almost like just messing with those that are waiting for ugaz. And although it is very unfortunate, we like to keep things super simple. And as a day trader, this is why it's so important to understand why direction is one of the most important factors when it comes down to day trading. It's never easy to make money in the stock market, but it's so much easier when you simply focus on direction. Today I cleared a little bit over $500 profit, and the reason that I'm not trading DGAZ too aggressive is I do agree with a lot of you. Natural gas is very oversold, which means the opposite for DGAZ. DGAZ is very overbought. DGAZ has grown over 110% in the past 7 days. Think about that. If you would have put $1,000 7 days ago in DGAZ at around an average purchase price of about like 156, if I'm not mistaken, it would have doubled in just 1 week, or 7 in a sense trading days. It is absolutely insane. This is not something that normally happens. So now it brings up the question, looking at /NG and where it's at right now as it's approaching the 1.60 support, is it time to buy ugaz? And what I'm here to remind you is that no one knows where the bottom of anything is. We don't know that, things can get worse before they get better. And what I do want to share with you is what is going on right now with natural gas. There is a lot of talk of there being, again, an oversupply and not enough demand, even with the idea of America slowly getting back to business. Based off of last month's or the previous month's performance when it comes down to crude oil and how crude oil went negative, one of the things that you have to take into consideration is when it comes down to the storage of oil, there's much more storage facilities for oil itself. When it comes down to natural gas, there is much less. So it's much easier for natural gas to go negative. So is it out of the question for natural gas to go negative? It is not. And thinking about the overall effect that the coronavirus had on natural gas and the overall consumption of natural gas, it makes sense on why supply levels are high and overall demand levels are low, even with the idea of us slowly getting back to business. Now, DGAZ is approaching $300. This doesn't mean that you should just jump right into ugaz, because if, the past 7 days shows anything, it's, DGAZ has been overbought since, 3-4 days ago. Everyone was already cautiously paying attention to ugaz. So what I'm here to remind you is that it is so important, especially as a commodity like natural gas. Right now, supply levels are extremely high with the idea that it can go negative. And one of the last things is there's extreme volatility on both sides. It is moving much quicker than it normally trades. And like we've said before, with great volatility comes great responsibility. And there's 2 ways that I would approach this. If you see opportunity in ugaz, as many of you guys might, I would just set your alerts. At the end of the day, like we've said before, it's so much easier to make money when the overall direction is in your favor. And right now, the direction is not in your favor for ugaz. Ugaz is bearish, it is oversold, but just because something is oversold does not make it a good buy. If you're so certain that it's going to pick up and push up, I challenge you to set your alerts and wait for confirmation. I would just hate for you to buy right now and end up writing it further down, as it can make lower lows. Now, the other approach is with the understanding that natural gas is very oversold. The way that I'm approaching DGAZ is the way that I approached it today. Every single day last week, I was having huge days just because of how much DGAZ was gapping up. Today, DGAZ is already up 16% on the day. It actually just broke above $300. So natural gas is making new lows. So DGAZ is killing it, but it's so overbought. And right now it just broke 300 and now it's trading at 303. The volatility is there. But like I've said, because it's so volatile, I find it to be of greater risk. So I'm really watching my position size, and I'm not trying to get too greedy, especially as things become a little bit more uncertain when it comes down to, is DGAZ going to continue to run, or is ugaz going to reverse? At the end of the day, your job is to take advantage of opportunities in which you see value in and that you can manage. So it doesn't matter how much you want DGAZ to continue to go up, or how much you wanted to pull back, or vice versa, how much you want ugaz to go up because of how oversold it is. Your hopes and your desires for whatever stock it is that you see value in has no effect on how it trades. If you're so certain that it's going to reverse, I simply challenge you. It's just based off of my experience. More often than not, when I buy in a little bit too early, it ends up continuing to sell off than in comparison to actually pushing up. It's much easier to make money when you wait for confirmation and you actually wait for indication of an uptrend. Let's keep things simple. Let's set those alerts and let's follow up with it when it makes sense. Until then, there is talk about natural gas going negative, which means that could only send the price of ugaz to continue to sell off. A lot of people are talking about and asking, can ugaz and DGAZ go through a reverse stock split? Of course, anything can happen. When it comes down to ugaz itself, I wouldn't really expect it to go through a reverse stock split until it breaks below $10 a share, which of course ugaz and DGAZ will announce ahead of time. So with great opportunity comes great responsibility. So if you're uncertain of what it is that you should take advantage of, like we've said before, when in doubt, pull out. It's best to not be in an open position when the direction isn't so clear. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think. Are you watching ugaz? Do you think that ugaz will reverse, or do you think that DGAZ will hit 400 and ugaz will only continue to drop? Let me know down in the comment section. I really hope that I earned your thumbs up. Don't forget to smash that like button. We'd love to stay connected. Join our free Facebook group. That's going to be that first link down below to connect with like-minded individuals. And we have a little bit over 270,000 members that are ready to connect. Like always, team, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.